Coming up on this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society, do you, Resident Evil, take you, Nintendo Switch 2, to be your lawfully wedded platform? We head to flee Kasuto, so the Nintendo Cartridge Society flees Kasuto with you. Welcome to Nintendo Cartridge Society. My name is Patrick Ellers, and I am joined, as I am always joined by my co-host, Mark Mitchell. Mark, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great. Happy Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade Day to you, Patrick.
Yes, thank you, and to you as well, Mark. Were you, because you were typing a little bit during the music?
I wanted to make sure I got all
the
pieces
name
correct.
right.
Yeah, that's
okay,
right.
good.
That's right.
That's fantastic. I was thinking, do you think in the scenario that we put forth in the cold open of this show, the marriage between Resident Evil and Nintendo Switch 2, do you think they write their own vows?
You know, I do think they do because, Resident Evil and Nintendo have complicated history.
They do. It's
relationship,
true.
A little bit of a breakup.
Right. God bless the broken road. That kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it seems like they're making it work. And
for now, they're trying again.
I think that's beautiful.
Right. There's probably like a best man like at the reception afterwards that makes a joke about like this is their next wedding or something, something like that, or their first. There's something like that.
Yeah.
Anticipating that they're going to break up again.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the wheels are turning on another episode idea. A wedding party. We're naming because who would be that person? Don't say. We're still saving.
We're
for
saving
the episode.
it. We're saving it. Is it Nemesis? Probably. Is his speech just stars? Yeah, I think so. But no, that's not what we're doing today. Today we're going to be talking about third party partnerships with Nintendo, especially as we go into the Nintendo Switch 2 era, where it seems like third parties are putting their games on that platform. But before we get into that, just want to shout out, of course, the patreon.com/Nintendo Cartridge Society, where if you are supporting us at the 8 or 16-bit levels, you get access to our once a month episodes of miniseries like NCS at the movies.
Yes, and let's see if I can do better today than I did on Tuesday, explaining
off to a great start.
NCS at the movies, where Patrick and I, and most of the times a special guest, are going to the movies, seeing them together, and then talking about them. We had a bunch of fantastic episodes last year,
but that's last year.
That's last year. This year,
also fantastic episodes.
Yes,
we have to assume.
And we're kicking off January by talking about something.
Well, here's the thing. I think we can say what we've been talking about. We're going to do a little bit of a cinematic grab bag of our cinematic experiences over the course of January. We've seen 3 movies together. We saw Primate, we saw No Other Choice, and we saw the because it was back in theaters, the Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. And so we're going to do one great big mega episode that's sort of about all 3 of them. Time code, so you can skip around and see how you feel about our experiences with those 3 movies. And that'll just be kind of like a fun, low-press one.
Yes, exactly. January's a weird movie-going time. But
we saw 3 movies.
But we saw 3 movies.
Yes.
And so that is the 8-bit and 16-bit level, but there is, of course, content available at all levels, including free and past miniseries for people to check out. So go on over to the Patreon, join. Again, you can join at the free level, and there's lots of more content available for you.
And of course, in February, we're going to talk about Scream.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm so excited for that.
Me too. I'm excited. I'm excited for now finally a reason to kick in the pants to see the 3 movies that I haven't seen.
Yeah, it's nuts that you haven't seen any past the original trilogy. When's the last time you think you watched 2 and 3?
Within the past. 6 years.
Okay, so
I think it was during COVID. I think it was during COVID.
Yeah. They're such a good like marathon watcher, like day after day after day. Even though by the time the end of 3 rolls around, I'm like, I'm done with this. I can take a break. But I envy your first time trip through 4, 5, and 6. All right. People can also join our Discord if they are not already there. Email us, Nintendo Cartridge Society
At
@gmail.com.
gmail.com.
We send you an invitation. You come on in the Discord. You chat with people who are playing Nintendo games and playing games developed and published by other studios on Nintendo platforms, which of course will bring us to our our topic today, which is exactly that. Mark, let's get into it. So just in general, it seems like a lot of these like big third-party games are now starting to come to Switch 2.
Yeah, it's like it's a mix between old ports,
Mm-hmm.
like ports of old games, and then new games, day and date, or trying to be day and date. I'm thinking of Borderlands 4, which had intentions to
Sure.
be close, but then has been indefinitely delayed. But Capcom is really, doing
Stepping
the work
up.
here.
Yep.
With some big day and date releases in a way that the original Nintendo Switch never had.
Yeah, totally. And, I think a lot of the big sort of like marquee titles, the one of them that comes out today, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, is, that's an older game. It's from 2020 originally, although the Intergrade version not until like 2022, maybe. So, that's not that old of a game. But then, yeah, Resident Evil Requiem is going to be coming out day and date with all other platforms, which will also give us Resident Evils 7 and Village. Pragmata is going to come out on all platforms at the same time, including Switch 2. So we are seeing these partnerships be reforged, these commitments to each other being renewed. So we are going to be coming up with our list of games that we would like to see coming to the Switch 2. And because there's this theme of like partnership and these relationships, we are doing it through the guise of the set of not presents, but things that you need to wear
Or
have
have
on you
I
at
guess
the wedding.
I actually don't know what.
Because I think it only
Is it
really
all
applies
for
to
the bride?
I think it's
Yeah,
all for the
okay,
bride.
yeah.
So we are going to be coming up with for each of us, we have something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, and wild card.
Wild card.
It would be disappointing if we didn't have a wild card
For sure.
slot.
All
So
weddings need a wild card.
all weddings need, and they all have one. You may not know it. If you're going to a wedding and you don't know who the wild card is,
You are.
you are the wild card. So yeah, that's the structure of this. Sometimes I think we're going to be talking about games that we are would be excited to play if they were on Switch. Sometimes I think we're going to be talking about games that we have played, games that we haven't. Just sort of all over the spectrum here. I don't know what's on Mark's list. He does not know what's on my list, and that's going to be what we're doing today. By the way, I'm very excited for. I don't think I'm gonna buy it, but for Final Fantasy VII Remake to be on Switch 2, because it's a game that I absolutely love, and I very much look forward to talking about it with you as we are doing just episodes of this show and what we've been playing. It also just excites me that like that game can find a much bigger audience now, being on a platform that is in so many more households and just feels more like accessible.
Yeah, I'm super excited to start playing it. And it also means that we know that Rebirth is coming at some point, and presumably that means the third game will be coming to Nintendo Switch 2 as well.
Yep. And it's that'll be the real test case, is like how well Rebirth performs, the sequel in the remake trilogy, because it is such a big game and it is so like. And this is the thing for all of these, like all of this in general, is that like we're getting to the point where they're like very graphically and like computationally demanding games.
Right.
And the Switch 2 is more powerful than the Switch 1, but like is not as powerful as a PlayStation 5.
Well, yes. And also I feel like this, in a lot of ways, is the first time that like modern Nintendo hardware has to reckon with the enormous install sizes of these
there's
games.
that, yes.
Because Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is like 91 gigabytes.
Right.
So how big is Rebirth going to be? I might need
bigger.
I might need an SD card specifically for this Final Fantasy VII trilogy.
Yeah, yeah, they might. Well, and like every like memory cards get cheaper with time, right? They're not quite like RAM in that like all of that stuff gets more expensive as we go because of AI and data centers and stuff like that. But yeah, that's we'll have giant memory cards by the time Rebirth comes out.
All this is to say,
Don't worry, Mark.
yeah, all of this is to say that exciting times for
Yes.
third parties and Nintendo.
That's right. So that's what we're talking about today. We will start with. I think we will take this in the order of the poem adage.
Yeah,
Where does that come from? The something old, something
I have no
new,
clue.
something borrowed, something blue.
Zero clue.
One fish, two fish.
Red fish, blue fish,
Old fish, new fish.
wild card.
Yeah. Sorry, I was hoping we would get to the end of it because it's blackfish, bluefish. He does bluefish twice in the first 8 lines.
That's why nobody likes that book.
That's why nobody likes that book or Dr. Seuss in general. Okay, starting with something old. Mark, would you like to go first or would you like to go second?
I'll go first.
Thank you.
So my something old is a game that has actually appeared on a Nintendo platform before. In fact, it appeared exclusively and then has kind of been memory hold. And I think it'd be exciting for this game to return. And that is Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes. Developed by Silicon Knights, but published and distributed by Konami. This is a 2004 GameCube game that was a remake of Metal Gear Solid with new cutscenes, like redone cutscenes, and then gameplay elements taken from Metal Gear Solid 2.
To include the first-person perspective while shooting.
Yes.
Which is something that breaks some of the boss fights. And like sort of famously, the cutscenes are like, and Metal Gear's already like a really like up its own butt anime game. This goes even crazier in that direction.
Yes, well, and they're also like very of its time. They're very like bullet timey.
Yes.
But so this is a game that I owned and purged my GameCube collection years and years and years and years ago. But it's one that I constantly regret having gotten rid of because it's so rare nowadays. When Konami released the Metal Gear Solid collections, there was always a certain amount of hope that maybe we will see the Twin Snakes again, just because it's such a strange, like artifact of time. But that is my hope as we're talking about renewed partnerships. My hope is that someday.
Wow, so this is also like a renewed partnership for Konami too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someday I think it would be really fun to have Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes represented.
That's wonderful. I did not anticipate that we would be talking about Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. That's so. It's amazing that it just never gets like ported anywhere. It's never involved in any of the collections or anything like that.
Right.
It's got a real like Batman Arkham Origins thing going on where every time they put those Batman games together, they're like, not the one that WB Montreal worked on, just the others.
The thing that's interesting about Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes is, first of all, it's crazy that Metal Gear Solid 3 was in development at the same time that this game was being worked on.
Yes.
Which is why Kojima is just a producer on it and not like he wasn't involved in the development itself, like hands-on or anything. But he is a producer, so it is kind of like blessed by him in a way
sanctioned
that,
by him,
like the Metal Gear Solid 2 released in North America, like he wasn't involved at all. Not Metal Gear Solid 2.
Metal Gear 2. Right.
He wasn't involved at all. So it's not like
Snake's Revenge, is that what it's called?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wish that it wasn't the black sheep of the Metal Gear Solid family, even though it is. But we should embrace it. We should.
Yes.
We should. The fact that it exists is cool and curious, and I just wish there was a way to replay it.
Yes, I totally agree. I think this is a great something old pick, and it is older than the something old that I have picked, which I think actually only goes back to 2016 is my something old. But my something old, and I don't know why this wasn't on regular old Switch, The Witness.
Oh, is that the Jonathan Blow game?
It's the Jonathan Blow's follow up to the what's the name of that game?
Braid?
Braid, thank you. I was really trying to get somewhere with like time something. That wasn't it. But yeah, The Witness, which is a first-person puzzle game where you are sort of, it's all just like line puzzles, and it is like wrapped in this wrapper of you wake up on an island and it's all sort of mysterious and dilapidated, and the game never has like any tutorialization to it. You just sort of experience these puzzles and solve them as you encounter them. And the more you play, the more rules reveal themselves to you through you needing to access those rules. Like, again, it's not the game explaining them to you, it's that you simply need to access them in order to like get through individual puzzles.
What does that mean to access them?
Yeah, so it means that like there will be a new puzzle, or there will be a puzzle that you encounter, and you will like know all of the things that you've been able to do in the previous puzzles to solve it, and you'll be like, those aren't doing it. Like that won't solve the puzzle, and the only way forward is this like approach to the line puzzle, and then you will be able to take that knowledge forward into future puzzles.
Oh, I see.
And
That's really interesting.
It's just incredibly well designed to like dole these things out to you. It's a way of leveling up your brain and not leveling up like your character within the game. But then as you go, you start to see relationships between puzzles and discrete parts of the map, and then realizing that parts of the map themselves are puzzle that you have to solve the same way. It is an incredibly fun, really like knotty puzzle game that is just a ton of fun, and like it's beautiful, but I don't it seems like it should be able to run on regular old Switch. I don't know why it was never ported.
Yeah. That sounds. I remember when the game came out, and I remember you talking about it a little bit.
Yeah.
With when you were playing it, but I totally forgot about it. So yeah, that would be a great one.
Yes. Yeah. I would just like to have another opportunity. Also, it's been 8 years since last I played The Witness, or maybe a solid decade. So I would love to twist my brain in those same knots again, and see if I remember anything. I bet I don't. All right, so those are something olds. Shall we move on to something new?
Yeah. Do you want to start this one?
I will go first. I feel a little bit less confident because I sort of have two in here that feel very related to me, even though I know they are not. These are both games from the sort of cusp of 2024 into 2025, and they're both sort of classic turn-based RPGs. I'm referring to Metaphor ReFantazio and Clair Obscure Expedition 33. Both games that made like a huge splash are these like critically acclaimed RPGs that are in a style that I like, and I didn't put any time into, despite the fact that I have platforms that can play them, but they're just not on Switch.
Huh.
And if they were, I might give them a shot.
I remember when, especially like Clair Obscure, that game, has been such a enormous success, and I feel like the developers have been asked about a Switch
Yes.
port, and nothing has come of it to this point. But yeah, that feels like would be a huge addition to the library.
A huge addition to the library, and also just like it was on like many Game of the Year lists for last year, and like get onto that Nintendo, like do whatever you can to have this game available on the platform that's everywhere. I feel a little bit the same way about Metaphor, which as I said was the end of the year previous, and like it was also appearing on a lot of like best of the year lists, but like in sort of a people were scrambling to finish it because it was still, it's a big RPG. It's from Atlas, so it's like Persona but grown up, and with all these like complicated politics and stuff. And I just I would love an opportunity to play, and I know I have the opportunity to play these
I know
games.
what you mean, though. I know what
Yeah.
you mean. Yeah, those are great picks. My something new is also from last year.
Very good.
It's from October of last year, and this is
Ooh.
The Outer Worlds 2. So the first game got a port to Switch
Yes.
in June of 2020. So like a year give or take after the first one was released on other platforms. Got a port on Switch.
Sort of rough shape when it launched, right?
Yeah. When it launched, it was.
And when you played it.
And when I played it, because I
Yes.
played it at launch, I had pre-ordered it, which was a bad mistake. But the gameplay itself was super fun. It's like it's very Fallout coded, made by Obsidian, and I had a great time with the first game, even in the rough state it was in. And later they released patches that I think improved the experience, like the performance and the graphics, pretty significantly. But Switch 2, baby. It's a whole new world, and The Outer Worlds 2 was on Xbox, PS5, PC. I would love to see the game come to Switch 2, have an opportunity to check it out.
Yeah, well, and that one feels like. So, wait, are they owned by Microsoft?
They are,
They
yeah.
are, okay. So that seems sort of like Microsoft is in a very like giving mood. It seems these days.
Possible.
Yeah, it seems very possible that they would. And if they did it for the first one, like why wouldn't they? I guess they weren't owned by Microsoft at that time, right?
No, they
Probably were,
yeah, Obsidian might have been.
but maybe they weren't when they started developing this. Who knows? We don't have this information.
I don't know. But I mean, like you said, Microsoft right now is so much more aggressive about. It's basically their strategy now is just we
Yes.
put games everywhere.
So they can be bought somewhere.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Although I wonder, because I feel like The Outer Worlds 2, at least in my experience, kind of came and went last year without much.
Yeah.
The reviews were solid. They're, about the same on OpenCritic as they are for the first game. So it seems like it had a good response, but it just seems like it kind of got lost in everything else that was happening at the end of last year. So I don't know if that makes it more likely for them to port it to try to reach a wider audience, or less likely because they're basically just ready to move on.
Yeah, it's a good question. You would think that like it's an asset, right? It's like a thing to sell. That yeah, I mean, you would think. I mean, honestly, with a lot of these, I'm like, why not bring these things over to if they can work on the platform? It's just another place that you can sell it in perpetuity.
Right.
But also, it's the economics of selling video games is mysterious, and so who knows. I also so I had like my alt for something new, and I don't know if this is going to step on toes of anything further down the road here. But what about Baldur's Gate?
Okay, they actually had an interview recently with the developer that
Baldur's Gate 3, of course.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. That basically they said I think the head of the studio or whatever said that they were told no, and presumably by
Interesting.
Wizards of the Coast, who the game was like published under.
Right, because it's a D&D game.
Yeah.
So, but why?
No elaboration.
No elaboration.
Other than like they were told no. So yeah, seemingly no. I think Baldur's Gate 3 at least off the table for the foreseeable future.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of that. Why would Wizards of the Coast be like, no, not on Switch? Does Wizards of the Coast have an anti-Nintendo bias?
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't think the director said like it was Wizards of the Coast that said no. But that's just what everybody is assuming to be true.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, very good. Shall we move on to our something borrowed?
Yes.
Okay, so obviously this one is up to interpretation. What does it mean for something to be borrowed?
So what I chose to do for something borrowed is I'm taking a game that is developed by a third party but is exclusive to another platform.
Sure.
In this case, like platform plus PC, but I'm counting it as one platform.
I think that counts as exclusive.
And so the game that I chose is one that was revealed in like the Xbox showcase last June, I think, which is There Are No Ghosts at the Grand.
I don't know what There Are No Ghosts at the Grand is.
Okay, so the game is like seemingly everything. Like so all right. It's like a first.
Well, certainly there are no ghosts.
No, it's a first person kind of like a cozy simulator that also has like power wash simulator elements to it. So
Okay.
you're a person who inherits this old like hotel in England in this like small town,
Yeah.
and then your job
The Grand, presumably.
presumably you're like renovating it, and you only have 30 days and nights to do it. But then there's like a town for you to explore. There's like a mystery surrounding the whole thing. It's a musical that apparently like there is like call and response parts where you
What?
are inanimate objects are talking to you because they're like enchanted. Like it seems like it's not
But they're not ghosts.
it's not. The thing may be haunted. There is. It's not out yet.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
It's not out yet. It's supposed to come out sometime in 2026. So who knows? It could turn out to be a huge mess. But it just seems so cool and interesting and different from anything that's out there. And I would love to be able to play it on my Switch too.
Okay, well, that explains a little bit because as you were describing that, I was like, why do we not know about why are you and I not playing this game right now?
Right? Yeah.
It's because it's not out,
And it's only going to be on Xbox and PC.
Right, and we don't have any of those things. So, yes, true. So it should be on Switch.
Yeah, that's my argument.
I think that's great. A musical haunted hotel, cozy simulator.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, it seems like it has the potential to be pretty incredible.
All right, very good. My something borrowed is not going to be something as recent as not yet out, but is a collection. I'm actually going to just do both of these collections because if one is out, they should both. I am borrowing here from PlayStation's, the upper echelon of PlayStation's first party, arguably their flagship first party. I'm talking about the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection and Uncharted the Nathan Drake collection.
Oh yeah,
especially Uncharted the Nathan Drake collection, which is the 1, 2, and 3. Why shouldn't that be on Switch? And it is the sort of cinematic platforming action third person like guy with a little bit of snark and a gun and like the spirit of adventure, Indiana Jones, but in video game form. The kind of thing that is not on Nintendo platforms otherwise.
Yeah.
Right? The PlayStation's bread and butter. And they're not doing anything with that IP right now.
Right.
The franchise of Uncharted is dead and has been for a long time now. Why not put these collections out on other platforms?
Yeah. That would be super fun. I've never played 3. I never played 3.
3's really good. I think 2, 3, and 4 I think are all excellent games.
Oh yeah, I never played 4 either. I forgot that existed.
Oh man, 4 rules. 4 is so good and so like long and like has the influence of The Last of Us to just be like a little bit darker, a little bit deeper into the characters and the sort of like difficulty of their adventures without being The Last of Us game, which I'm not suggesting. I don't think The Last of Us should come to Switch
Isn't that
too.
so interesting?
Yeah.
I feel like of the Naughty Dog like things,
Yes,
the Uncharted feels like such a comfortable fit.
totally.
Yeah.
Well, and especially we're seeing all of there's like a little bit of a resurgence of Tomb Raider, right? Like we're just a couple days out from the like first reveal of like Sophie Turner as
Lara Croft
in the new Tomb Raider movie,
TV series,
whatever. I honestly thought it was a movie. I didn't know. She makes more sense on TV than in movies, right?
I think so.
She was better as
Well,
Sansa
just 'cause
than
you
as
don't
Jean
want-
Grey.
I was gonna say you just don't want people to be confused to see her on screen and be like, "What is Dark Phoenix doing here?"
People will be asking that question, and Dark Phoenix will probably be in Avengers.
But
But
probably
we don't
not
know.
her.
We don't know. No. Well, and honestly, Famke Johnson has not been.
No,
announced.
but did you see the thing where like one of the like an X-Men writer from the comics said that she was in it?
Oh yes, who was that
I
that
can't
said that?
remember.
It was someone like Mark Wade, but not Mark Wade. Um, Anyway, yes. Where was I? Oh, yes. Talking about Uncharted. Um, they're just like fun, lighthearted adventure
Chris
game.
Claremont.
Chris Claremont.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty remarkable that Claremont would say that. Wonder if they're, hmm, are they tapping those guys? Because like Claremont is, one of the guys responsible for like really soap opera-ifying the X-Men in the 80s. Um, so I wonder if that's like what they're.
Right. How would he know?
How would he know unless he
Yeah.
was like involved in some way?
But I, of course, didn't read the article or investigate at all. I just saw the headline.
Wow. I was not thinking that it was Claremont. I thought it was somebody else. Anyway, yeah, the Uncharted games.
That would be amazing. Yes, totally.
They're fun.
Wait, so what are the two collections?
So
Does one have
yes.
like the handheld ones?
No. So that is another thing that I would like to address. So the Nathan Drake collection just has 1, 2, and 3. Those are the PlayStation 3 games.
Okay.
And then the Legacy of Thieves collection has 4 and Lost Legacy, which are both the PlayStation 4 games. There's never been a PlayStation 5 Uncharted game outrageously. But yes, the Golden Abyss, the PlayStation Vita game, has also never been like ported or brought over to anything, much of the same way that Twin Snakes has never been included in collections.
And again, another like developed by a different studio. So
Yes, totally.
yeah.
So
Totally the Arkham Origins thing.
Yeah, so honestly, let's put all 3 of those games
In a collection.
yes, Uncharted Golden Abyss, Batman Arkham Origins, and Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes.
Yes.
They can be in the Black Sheep collection and just gets put out. We can put, Batman Arkham Blackgate.
Oh, is that the like?
It's like the 2D one. Yeah, we just put all of these games in one collection together.
Yeah, yes. That would be amazing.
No one will buy it.
You and I will.
Yeah, well, maybe. Maybe. How much is it?
Yeah.
I do have a backup here. For something borrowed, because I didn't want to just borrow from PlayStation. What if I want to borrow from Xbox?
Oh, sure.
And Mark, you know me, you know my gaming tastes. You know that one of the things that I like on early Nintendo stuff is the Rare games. Rare also made a Battletoads game for Xbox. Why isn't that on Switch?
That also just seems like, let's get the gang together.
Yeah.
Like, do it. Let's reunite them on their home platform.
It's where they belong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you have an Xbox when that game came out? Have you played this game?
I have played some of this game. I had an Xbox a little bit after it came out. My buddy Ethan's Xbox was in my house. I mostly played that and Sea of Thieves, another Rare game. And Sea of Thieves should come to Switch at some point. That's not on I'm not considering that here. It's also on PlayStation now, so like it feels like the gates are open on that
totally.
already. But yeah, it's a Battletoads game, which means that some parts of it are super fun, and it is overall kind of annoying. But like, if I can power through the bad parts to get to the fun parts, I will have at least a good afternoon with it.
All right, so I think that tease you up for your something blue.
My something blue. So again, I've got 2 choices here, and I want, because blue probably up to even more interpretation than borrowed.
For
right?
sure, yeah. Heavy Rain, the saddest game ever.
Right, or any Sonic the Hedgehog game, or like any cop game, right? Like what exactly what exactly is a blue game? Mark,
Yeah,
would you mind going first? Yes.
No, I'm happy to.
I'm still sort of mulling over my 2 choices.
Totally. My blue is pretty literal. My blue, and this is another older game, like 20 years old at this point. But it's Blue Dragon, that was originally released in 2006 for the Xbox 360. This is the game. Was the first Mistwalker game. Hironobu Sakaguchi, after he left Square Enix, he formed Mistwalker, and he of course is like the father of Final Fantasy, the director of the first 5 games in the series. He created Mistwalker, and this was also the same time, after the Xbox, at the beginning of the Xbox 360 era, Microsoft was like, we are all in, because the Xbox has never had a foothold in Japan. Always like flop,
Right.
flop, flop.
And this was like one time when they were actually trying to.
Yeah, at the beginning of the 360
Yep.
era, they were like, no, not this time. We are partnering with Japanese developers. Like, we are making a push into Japan. Didn't work. Flop, flop, flopped. But you got
a lot of cool games
like,
come out of there. Yeah.
So Blue Dragon. So Hironobu Sakaguchi wrote like the story for this and was like the oversaw it. Akira Toriyama contributed art. The Dragon Ball creator and also working on Dragon Quest famously. Nobu Uematsu did the music for the game. So in a lot of ways, this was like a dream team of Japanese JRPG creators working together on this game. And by all accounts, it is fine. By all accounts, it's a pretty good game.
Yeah.
But even though I owned a 360 at the time, I didn't play it. I never bought it, and it's never been released anywhere else. There is a Nintendo DS like spin-off, but it's not a port of the game. And I would
Isn't it funny that like if that game were on other platforms at the time, you may have checked it out? Like there's just something about the vibe of an Xbox game and it is not a Japanese RPG.
Yes, totally. Especially one that's like so Dragon Quest coded.
Yeah.
And yeah, so is it the most amazing game ever? Probably not, but I think there's room in everybody's hearts for a pretty good Japanese RPG, that is trying to capture the warmth and excitement of like early Final Fantasy
The
and
first
Dragon
7 hours
Quest.
or so, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would love to be able to have Blue Dragon be represented to the world, and why not do it on the platform that it makes sense for it to, on the Nintendo Switch too.
Yeah. This is excellent. So just now when I said the first 7 hours or so, what actually is the appropriate amount of time for that joke of like how far you get into an RPG that you have no intention of actually finishing?
Ooh, I would need to look at my playtime for Octopath Traveler, because that's probably it for me.
Yeah.
But I would guess between 7 and 12 hours.
Between 7 and 12 for sure. We're going to narrow in. We're going to find like what the ideal, because I feel like 8 is too round of a number. That's too much like you put in a work day. 20 is too many.
20 is too many.
By 20, you're committed.
Yeah.
So
even though some RPGs by 20 hours, they're just like
Just getting
barely
warmed up,
revealing
yeah.
the second like gameplay mechanic.
Right. You're just meeting your third character and they totally change everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, great. I love the extremely literal nature of Blue Dragon for Xbox 360 being your something blue. I had also an extremely literal one that I'm just going to toss out here. It's not my actual pick. But it's a game that came out last year, Blueprints. Why isn't that on?
Great pick.
What's going on there?
Yeah. Excellent pick.
Why isn't that on Switch? It doesn't make sense to me.
No, it's another one of those like Claire Obscure. Like, let's get it done.
Yeah, it also seems way less demanding on the hardware than Claire Obscure.
Yeah.
So anyway, but my real something blue lightsabers, that is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Oh, totally.
So this is maybe just me pitching the exact same rationale as the Uncharted collections, but why aren't these great third-person action games in the Star Wars universe on Switch?
Yeah, we really need EA to get its house in order. Like,
Yes.
they should just be porting this stuff to Switch 2 at this point.
Yes.
Did they announce a third game in the series, or am
I don't
making
think
that
so.
up?
I think we're all just like assuming that there will be,
Got it.
right? Because Star Wars loves a trilogy.
But there was a PS4 port of one of these, of at least like the first one, right?
The first one came out on PS4.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because it's an early.
Oh, you're right. It must
2020
have.
game. Yeah. So the thing with the Jedi games, the Star Wars Jedi games, is that they are like universally recognized as like pretty good games with very good Star Wars stories in them. And like I think people are like hurting for that like good Star Wars-ness out there, especially in like the new canon, right? The TV shows have been kind of like hit or miss, Andor notwithstanding. And it's, I guess Andor is the hit, and the rest of them in the last couple of years have been misses. But like, yeah, the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order in particular just has like a sterling reputation as like a cool game with fun characters that is like so totally Star Wars, and gives you that like Jedi power fantasy in a way that like basically no other video game does. It looks and sounds and feels great.
That would be amazing. I hope that they do that.
Yeah, and you've not played.
I haven't.
either
I
of these
haven't played
games.
either of them. Yeah,
That's a crime.
I know. I know.
And you're a criminal, and I've called the police. I started the second one, Jedi Survivor, and really liked it. But it's just one of those things where I play fewer games on my PlayStation these days, and it takes something that I'm going to like really fall in love with to keep me on that platform. Part of the reason why I didn't finish Outlaws is that's where I had gotten it. If I were to get Outlaws on Switch, I think a higher likelihood of actually finishing it. Yeah, just let's get it over there so I can play the second one of these games.
Yeah, that would be great. While we were talking about this, I was also trying to think like, what is the last new Star Wars game that has been on a Nintendo console? I guess like there's that Star Wars Hunters like MOBA type thing that came and went.
Was that also on phones though?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But like I
prior to that,
Force Unleashed on Wii.
Force Unleashed on Wii is that's probably right. Because like I was gonna say like the Rogue Leader, whatever the GameCube one was called. But yeah,
Rogue Squadron.
Yeah. Yeah, and so it's been a very long time. Also, and this is not not necessarily related to this, but where are the Super Star Wars games? Why can't we play those on Switch? Super Star Wars, Super The Empire Strikes Back, and Super Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, why can't we play those?
When I bought Star Wars Battlefront, whatever it's called. It came with a bunch of like classic Star Wars games, including Super Star Wars.
I remember that because I remember playing some of them.
Yes.
And they're just as like difficult and weird as I remember, but save states. You put save states on those
Save
babies,
states, baby.
and like, yeah, you're good to go.
And Super Empire Strikes Back and Super Return of the Jedi are like genuinely pretty fun games, despite the fact that they're like broken and unbalanced in like just awful ways. But where are those? Just in general, because like I think you can't really like buy them normal places. So.
Yeah. I think you're right. I don't think. Yeah, that would be great. Also, I am wondering why when I bought Star Wars Battlefront or whatever it was called, why I didn't get those, because I didn't.
Maybe it was for the second one, or maybe I had pre-ordered or something. Star Wars. I'm looking it up.
It must be Battlefront because
Battlefront.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Also, why not Star Wars Battlefront 2? Let's put Star Wars games on Switch too.
Yes. EA, hear our prayer.
Please, EA.
What about that like racing game that is not what everybody wants? It's like, no, we're not doing pod racing. No, don't even think about it. Why would we do pod racing?
There was an episode of The Bad Batch where they go to a planet and there is like a pod racing style thing that's happening, but it's not pods. It's like a different racing thing.
That's so funny.
So like it's obvious that like the folks at Star Wars are like, okay, we like racing, but we can't do any more pod racing.
What do you mean anymore? It's barely in anything, and everybody loves pod racing.
People do love pod racing. It's true. Here's the thing. Sebulba's in the game. We've seen Sebulba.
Right. So maybe it will be pod racing, but I do like the idea that there's like
pod racing.
Yeah, like there's pod racing, and that's like Formula One, but then there's also this other thing, and that's like NASCAR or something.
Yes.
Like,
and we don't ever want to mash them up because like they're just different. It's
or maybe
IndyCar.
Maybe IndyCar. That's a better example.
Sure.
None of this matters.
I don't really know what. I think you're selling yourself short. It all matters. That's my something blue is the Star Wars Jedi games. And then, of course, the fifth thing that every bride needs on her wedding day, wild card.
A wild card.
I can go first on wild card.
Okay,
here.
great.
And this is truly just like this is where I was like, go freaky.
I mean, it's wild card, baby.
It's wild card.
You can do anything.
Don't you dare make a boring choice though.
No.
It has to be exciting. It's got to be something where you go, okay.
Yeah. Is this gonna kill me?
On a Nintendo? Yes, that's right. Is this gonna kill me? I'm not 27 anymore. Can my body handle this? Can my body handle Death Stranding?
Oh, this is such a good pick. This is such a good pick. Necessary.
We were talking about Konami earlier, and therefore we were talking about Hideo Kojima. And yeah, that's all great. That's Kojima past. Death Stranding is the second act of his video game producing life. Let's get the bleak walking simulator, package delivery, life, death, America divided, people hidden indoors game on Switch 2.
Yeah. Oh, that would be incredible.
Obviously, the sequel to Death Stranding came out last year. Seemed like it was a like sort of fire of cultural relevance. And like we can just, I think every time Death Stranding comes out, or a game in the series, or reaches a new platform, that it is a cultural beat. So like, engage that again. Start the cultural beat that is Death Stranding on Switch 2.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be so fun. Hey, here's a pitch.
Yeah.
Why not the Twin Snakes it? Why not take you're putting
Oh, okay.
you're putting Death Stranding 1 on Switch 2, but you're taking gameplay elements from Death Stranding 2 and integrating it into the game. Why would you do this? Who knows? It's wild card, baby.
Hold on.
Can your body handle it?
Here's the thing. I'm going to say that this was sort of done with the director's cut. So there are a lot of like quality of life things in Death Stranding 2 that are sort of previewed in the director's cut of Death Stranding that came out a couple years later. So you're right. I should have been more specific. The Death Stranding director's cut should be coming to Switch 2.
Very good.
Yeah, which is sort of its own Twin Snakes.
All right. That's a great wild card pick. I would love to see that happen. Here's my wild card pick. Can my body handle some good enough games of the 360 PS3 era? I'm talking about like
good enough games.
So
yeah,
I think that
what do we got in here? Infamous.
Like yes, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I for whatever reason. I've been feeling a little bit nostalgic video game wise for this like 360 PS3 era. And I think what it is when we were doing this list of like third parties, I was researching like what is coming out from third parties in 2026 that I would want to include on my list. And for my money, a lot of, not everything obviously, but a lot of what is being developed by the major publishers is what we see in Hollywood right now. In the movies where so much of it is just the same and so much like labor is being put into keeping like the Call of Duty machine running that studios that and games are so expensive now that studios and developers and publishers, they were all taking chances on just like things that were good enough, and maybe they got one sequel but it didn't turn into this massive franchise or this like massive game, that just like needed to suck up all the oxygen in the room in order for it to be considered successful. And so I miss like these kind of like just solid triples.
Yes.
Sometimes doubles. You know what I mean?
Sometimes doubles.
That studios would put out that had like interesting ideas and maybe they didn't entirely coalesce and entirely work, but they were, or maybe they were really derivative, but they were fun. You had a good time. You could play them for 10 hours. You were finished with the experience and you were satisfied for like the $50 that you paid for it. And so the games I'm specifically ones that came to mind, but there are so many of these, is the Saboteur that was developed by Pandemic, released by EA in 2009. This was a game where you're playing as somebody in Paris during World War II, during the Nazi occupation, and your friend is killed by Nazis, and so that like radicalizes you, and so you basically become this like guerrilla warfare person. But it made like interesting choices. Like the world is mostly in sepia tone and black and white until like you are successful in your missions in those areas of town. It's like open world. You're driving around Paris, and then when you've like done a mission in an area and it becomes part of the resistance, then it becomes colorful and
That's
lively.
cool.
Like it's not an amazing game. It's not the best game ever, but it's pretty good. It had some interesting ideas.
Well, and this is also I like there's something that we are circling here, and like if we end up talking about Infamous, we can talk about it there too. But like this was when like open world was for the first time like a kind of game that could exist. So no open worlds were being taken for granted, right? Or like are super checklisty or whatever. And like the Assassin's Creed, even the Assassin's Creed games at this time, like the world can only be so big, right? And so everything that you're putting in there, you're really like jamming together and overlapping. And like maybe it's not the most immersive world, but it is fun. It's a fun amusement park ride that you're like, or amusement park space that you can just be in and like have interesting stuff to do, to see interesting stuff.
And open world hadn't been so like codified by that point,
Totally,
right?
also correct. Yes.
Yeah, another one is like Singularity. This was developed by Raven Software and published by Activision in 2010. Before Raven, has just again became part of the Call of Duty machine. This is a okay first-person shooter. It is in a lot of ways a BioShock ripoff. You have like a time dilation device that like slows down
cool
like
stuff.
attacks and stuff, but it's fun. It was like pretty good. Brutal Legend.
Oh man,
Right?
starring
That
Jack
like
Black. Yes.
like that Double Fine
Mhm.
game that like mashed up an action game with like real time strategy and like
Right, and all with like a heavy metal like coat of paint. Yes.
and it's like a kind of an uncomfortable marriage of both of those of the
Mhm.
two gameplay styles. Like it's not great at either, but what a crazy idea. And like that, I feel like I'm missing that sort of like era of games where it's like these are small enough, they're not that expensive, we are looking for new interesting ideas, maybe
Yeah.
one of these will hit and we can get a couple of games out of it, and then like the franchise fizzles out, but that's fine. The industry is not riding on the next Brutal Legend selling more than the previous one.
Right. Right. Yeah, totally. Well, and just like, I mean, they made a sequel to it, but like, the Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor.
I love Shadow, that first one. I
Right?
never played the second one, but the first one was so cool, and it had that like fun
The
nemesis
system,
mechanic.
right.
Yes. That I'm thirsty right now for those types of games, and so that's why I'm like, let's just bring it back by magic. Like, why would they sell? Why would the Saboteur sell in 2026? It wouldn't, but
But maybe it would.
but maybe it would.
It's like one of my favorite 30 Rock jokes where Jack is showing Liz a chart of NBC's priorities at the moment, and it's like the pie chart is like 95% the Biggest Loser, and then like 3% make it 1997 by technology or magic.
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Like I want to go back to that time where that's what games were. That's what the development environment was. Rather, like to me, it felt kind of bleak looking at the 2026 releases. I think that third parties, again, we've talked about it a lot, but like as we saw with like Claire Obscure, has or even something not really independent, but like something like Baldur's Gate 3. Like I think those surprises are still out there.
Yeah, totally.
But a lot of it
yes.
is coming from like the indie space, and then the big publishers are just kind of doing the same thing every year.
Right. And, part of that is the like games are just so expensive to make now. And a lot of that has to do with the fidelity at which games need to be rendered now. Like what is acceptable for a AAA game,
Right,
what
yeah.
level of detail is demanded. And like, hey, back on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, like things looked good, but they could only look so good.
Right.
And also just like our brains hadn't been pulverized into mush by being like, but they could look this good, yeah, I think about that all the time. Like the fact that Insomniac was able to put out 2.5 really good Infamous games on PlayStation 3 is incredible. And then they made another one at the launch of PlayStation 4, and that's it.
Yeah.
And mind you, they've made the Ghost of games on PlayStation 5, but they put out 2 of those since 2020. That's 2 games in 6 years. Like, that's a long time.
And that's like pretty fast for
That's pretty
modern
fast.
development.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all of that is like, yeah, we just want like simpler games. But then also, I don't know, like Yacht Club is gonna fold when they never put out Mina the Hollower. So, and that game looks like a Game Boy Color game. So, what am I talking about? Everything is just expensive to make, I guess. Another entry for me in the possible wild card category is Alan Wake 2.
Oh, yeah.
The remaster is already on Switch, and Control was available as a cloud game. So, so bring Control over as well. But why, Remedy's, they've got another Control game coming out later this year, right? Why not bring that all in-house?
Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be cool to have all of that. Another one that not for wildcard, but while we're just saying possible alternatives.
We are just saying the names of video games now.
But
and I knew it would come to this.
Yeah.
I said, how do we make sure the episode isn't just us saying the names of video games?
And we fought it, and here we are.
Now we just give it up.
The Marvel Spider-Man games.
Oh, yes, on my list, actually, under my wild card alts. And yeah, sure, they're owned by PlayStation now. I don't care. Especially the original.
I know. It's like a 2018 game.
And it's so fun. It's light and fun and colorful. Put Spider-Man on Switch.
Yeah, Patapon's on Switch. Anything can happen.
Sure. I mean, we're not saying put God of War on Switch.
No.
We're saying Spider-Man.
Yeah. You're right. We should end it here before we just start listing things because
Final Fantasy 15.
I mean, that one would just kind of be funny after it. if they're like, yeah, 16, no, but 15.
But honestly,
we're finally
they put the what is it called? The pocket version? What's the
Yeah, I was trying to remember what that was called. The chibi mobile version that they made.
Yeah, that's on Switch.
Uh-huh.
Why not? Come on. Put Final Fantasy 15 on. Also, great. Thank you for making Kingdom Hearts Intergrum Masterpiece available on cloud streaming on Switch 1. Just put it on a cart and put it on Switch 2.
And 3, right? That has to.
So 3 is part of that.
Oh, okay. Oh, got it.
This is also something that I had in my alts for something old. So the Intergrum Masterpiece.
Is that really what it's called? Intergrum?
Yeah. Integrum. Intergrum
so
Masterpiece.
Funny. I love that.
Well, I wanted to run down just the names of all the games in this collection. So the first game, I'll work backwards. So first of all, Kingdom Hearts 3 plus Remind DLC. That's the most normal game title I'm going to say right now. So that's Kingdom Hearts 3 with all of its attendant DLC. Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 Remix, which is a collection in and of itself, including the following games: Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix, and Kingdom Hearts Coded. That's all part of the 1.5 plus 2.5 remix. And then there's another game in the collection, which is Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. And that includes Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, the 3DS game.
Uh-huh.
Kingdom Hearts, what is it? It's like an X that's below the line. I think it's a Greek letter of some kind. Back Cover is the rest of that game title. And then Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep, which I'm led to believe is a different game than Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix.
Got it. Yeah, bring all that.
Bring us the Intergrum Masterpiece.
I do think 4 will be on Switch 2 because, Square Enix has basically said we're all in on multi-platform.
Yes.
So if they can make it happen, I think they will. While we're just listing games.
It's what the episode has turned into.
Look, we have a glorious amount of Resident Evil, but I would love
Not
the 2
enough.
and 3 remakes.
Not enough.
Yeah.
The 2 and 3.
Oh, and 4.
I was going to say, are you drawing the line at 4?
No, I'm not. I just forgot it existed.
Did you see some rumor that Capcom would be announcing a remake of Code Veronica this year?
I did see that.
I'm very interested in
I've
that.
never played Code Veronica.
Code Veronica's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, just bring them all. Just bring all the games.
Yeah, just do it.
I at this point, I don't know why not. Okay, Mark, I think that's it. We've done something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, and something wild card. Let's close this out. What about you, dear listener? What third party? And we're talking, like games that are on other platforms, but like mysteriously aren't on Switch, or understandably weren't on Switch, but sure could be on Switch too. Mark, you and I didn't really talk about any FromSoft, any like Souls-like games, but that feels like a hole in the lineup too. Well, we get Bloodborne on Switch.
Right. I guess with the Duskbloods, we're kind of getting
We're dipping into that.
something that's like Bloodborne adjacent.
And
seemingly.
Elden Ring is going to
Elden
be
Ring,
right.
and then Dark Souls remastered.
Right, is already on
was
there.
on Switch. Yeah,
Mhm.
but yeah, I mean, there's Sekiro. Is that how you say that game?
Sure, Sekiro. Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, Bloodborne. That was my the first FromSoft game that I ever beat, and loved that experience. So,
At some point we will have to talk about Duskbloods, because I want your thoughts on that, having played Bloodborne.
yeah, I still don't really. I'm interested when that gets like re-revealed, because I still don't really understand what that game is going to be.
Yeah, well, I wonder if it's like the because like Elden Ring Night Rain did like a multiplayer
Yeah,
kind of thing. And
right.
I think I think they're along similar lines.
Yeah.
But you're right. We just don't know that much at this point. Remember that they did a Dark Souls amiibo?
Oh my gosh, you're right. The sun thing.
Yeah, the saluting the
Solstice,
sun,
yeah, whatever.
Solaire de Store, or something like that. We did not have that in our recent accounting of third-party amiibos.
Total miss.
Total miss. And it's possible that we did that accounting off mic. And that's the kind of conversation that we continue to have, even when we are not.
I think you're right. I don't think that was on the podcast. I think that was just real life.
That's going to do it for this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society. Thank you so much to our 16-bit patrons, Connor McKay, Patrice Millette, Kyle Seaborn, and Drew Mackey. Join our Discord if you have not already. Email us. I will send you an invitation. Anthony DeLuca made our logo. Our theme music is provided by 8-Bit Betty. You can get more of his music by going to 8bitbetty.com or by listening right now. For my co-host, Mark Mitchell, this is Patrick Eller saying thank you for listening.